How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Farming Simulator 19 Survival Series. So, in today's episode, we need to take care of these weeds. So, we've got a lot of weeds on all of our fields, so we're going to be taking care of that. But to do that, I think we might actually be buying a new weeder. So, we do have a decent weeder, actually. I think it's about a 12 meter, somewhere around there. We did check that in the last episode. So over there, we do have that. But I think I want to get a bit of a bigger one, and I thought about trading this one in, and then I thought, you know what? Maybe not. Let's actually keep that one, and I'm thinking about buying this one. So this would be great, but it's very expensive, and we don't have the power to pull that. Because that is 21 meters, or you can make it 27 meters. I mean, that would be amazing, but I think it's a bit overkill for what we've got at the moment. I think this would be good. 120 horsepower, and the John Deere is 215, so that's more than enough. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe we should buy that, and we can get it second hand. I mean, there's not a lot of things that can go wrong on that. So $36,000, pretty decent. We're sitting on just about $250,000, or just under $250,000. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to do with that, because I think we're going to be using a worker for the very first time in this series. So episode 41, we are English. We are on episode 41 at the moment. And yeah, we've never used a worker. So we are going to be using a worker today, hopefully. I hope this works. Right. Let's hook up to that. There we go. Nothing else that we can do there. No hydraulics or anything like that. And we are going to set a worker to work, because that's what workers do. And we're going to head up to the shop and collect our new, bigger weeder. And then we'll get to work as well. So we'll obviously be doing this field, because a worker isn't going to really know what to do here because of the shape of it. But on the square fields, it should be no problem at all for the workers. So yeah, that'll make things a little bit easier. And we are going to be making the fields bigger after we get this crop in, and then we'll probably start using workers a lot more anyways. So yeah, and at the moment I can use the John Deere for this job, because the weeds are out, but there's no crops through the ground yet, so I'm not risking damaging any crops just yet. There we go. That is a worker doing his thing. Beautiful. Right, we need to head back to the farm, so we're just gonna skip over, which I generally try and avoid doing, but there's no way I'm gonna be running back all the way from there. The John Deere obviously needs a bit of a wash, and thinking about it, we are gonna use the John Deere for the job, but I'm gonna take the Voltra up to the shop to actually collect the implement, purely because the Voltra is quicker by about 10 kilometers an hour. So yeah, that does make a bit of a difference. Something we definitely have to do, or that we're definitely going to have to do, I apologize, I cannot English today. In fact, I shouldn't talk at all today. But anyways, we need to buy some form of a diesel cart or a diesel tank, because the Voltra is a bit too close for comfort, too empty, and I'm pretty sure the John Deere is not far behind. I didn't actually check the Ford, but yeah, we've got a lot of pieces of equipment that's starting to run out of diesel right now. So I think we'll probably just buy some sort of a diesel pump and stick that on the farm. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm thinking the little shed close to the entrance would probably be a good spot for sort of a permanent diesel tank rather than a mobile one. And I don't really want a mobile one because we don't have space on the farm to store more trailers. In fact, we don't have enough space on the farm to store any trailers right now. So I don't want to be dealing with another trailer right now. Eventually, we will get a diesel cart, most likely. Maybe. I don't actually know if we'd need one. We'll probably only ever buy one if we've got a machine that's out in the field that ran out of diesel and we can't get it back without refilling it. So I don't know. Other than that, I don't think we would need to buy one really. Right, this is a big thing. I hope the John Deere can actually lift this because it does seem quite heavy. I mean, we can just use it on the Voltra, but oh, we need to service this. Forgot about that. And that's fine, we'll do a service as soon as we get to the farm. One thing I did want to touch on very briefly before we get into weeding. Oh, and we're also going to do something really, really cool after the weeding, which I've been wanting to do for a little while and been thinking about doing, and I think it's going to be really, really nice. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But one thing that I did wanted to touch on is I do apologize that episodes have been a little bit slow up until episode 39, because I've been having just problems on top of problems on top of problems trying to get videos recorded and edited and rendered and uploaded and all of that good stuff, because I am trying, or I did try some new stuff to try and improve quality and that sort of thing, and everything just seems to go wrong. So what I did at one stage is I tried to render the videos in 1440p rather than 1080, because that gives you the 2K option on YouTube, which means YouTube renders it in the better codec, which is generally reserved for popular videos, and which means you get a much better quality video, because regardless of what my videos look like on YouTube, I do actually record them in extremely high detail and high resolution, and they are supposed to look very nice, and they do look very nice up until the point that they hit YouTube. So I was trying to sort of get around that problem, the quality problem, by rendering them in 2K effectively, and it worked, but I uploaded them to YouTube, which was fine, it worked. The problem came when YouTube had to render it. So it rendered the standard sort of SD quality, and I left it for 2 days. Well, just under 2 days. It was 20 hours that I left it to render into the full resolution of HD and 2K, and still nothing. After 20 hours, it still hadn't completed that. So yeah, I mean, I can't be waiting 2 or 3 days for every video to render on YouTube to the full resolution. So I ended up re-rendering the videos in my rendering software back to 1080 as I normally do, and yeah, re-uploaded them and did all of that good stuff. So yeah, and among that I had some things that I had to figure out with mods, and it's just been busy, and I'm kind of thinking that my PC is starting to get a little bit unhappy about something. I'm not really sure why or what's going on. Something is just not 100% right, and I'm hoping it's nothing serious and it sort of sorts itself out, or I can figure out what the problem is. So yeah, I've been battling some minor PC issues and rendering issues and YouTube issues, and I mean, yeah, it's just been tough getting the last couple of videos recorded and actually onto YouTube. But hopefully all of that is behind me now, and we can just sort of gain a bit of momentum again, and everything should go fine from here on in. Touch wood. I really hope so, because I'm done struggling. So yeah, and then before we get this all knocked out, one more thing is I just wanted to throw in a quick apology about the previous episode 40. I noticed when I watched the video back that there was some moments where I just sort of stalled and I was rambling away about something, but I wasn't actually doing anything. I was just standing there rambling, I do apologize about that. I haven't recorded in quite a bit, as many of you know, so I'm getting used to it again. And sometimes I just sort of zone out and I forget that I'm actually supposed to be doing something because I'm recording it. So yeah, that's just a bit of a I'm not used to this anymore type thing. So, ooh, great demand. Oh, it's just great demands. I thought there was specials, because I do have a mod now that gives us specials, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so I do apologize. I don't think it was that bad in the 2 episodes prior to that, but I did notice it quite a bit in episode 40, the previous episode. So yeah, sorry about that. It wasn't too bad, but it was a bit noticeable. And yeah, I don't like to do that. I like to be productive and move when I talk and actually get something done. But I also have the habit of talking too much, and we're already over 10 minutes into this video and we haven't got much done. But that's fine, we got some information out and I just let you guys know what's going on, because I think a lot of you actually are interested in what is going on, and I just wanted to give some sort of an explanation of to why videos have been a little bit slow. And basically comes down to, I want to give you guys the best product that I can possibly give you, but I'm finding it very, very, very difficult to do that. But yeah, that is the story, and hopefully everything just goes better from here on in. Unfortunately, we're not going to have 2K videos by the looks of it anytime soon, and we're not going to have the fancy codec to have the top quality videos. I mean, on mobile and things like that, it's fine. It's when you start watching on bigger screens like 27-inch monitors or TVs where you really notice the codec sort of blurriness from YouTube. But anyway, it is what it is, unfortunately, at the moment. I will try and find solutions for these problems as we go along, as I always have. But for now, we're going to get the weeding knocked out, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So that is job done, and that went very, very quickly. So I did notice that the Ford was moving a little bit slowly. So I checked, and the Ford and the weeder needed a good service. So I let the worker finish up the field that it started on, brought everything back to the farm, gave it a good service, and put it on the other field to run sort of alongside me, or from the opposite direction that I was coming from. And yeah, that sped things up a lot. So what I think is the weeder that was running on the Ford is obviously a little bit smaller than this one, and I think we would probably sell that pretty soon. I don't know when exactly, maybe only when we need it again, but at some stage we will probably sell that and replace it with another one of these, because they are amazing. And then rather than have a worker run with the Ford, we'll probably put a worker on the Veltra, and I would be using the John Deere. I know that's backwards, but I just like the John Deere because it's so, I don't know, it's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Veltra is very, very nice. I wanted to do a repair on that. A service, because I saw it needs one. But yeah, the Valtra is very, very nice. I do like the Valtra a lot. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm gonna take the John Deere. So, yeah, it's just old and it's got so much character and, yeah, I like it. Right, there we go. Close that up. Beautiful, so that's washed up and the Ford is also cleaned up and put away and all of that good stuff. But yeah, I think the John Deere with the Valtra, both with those big weeders, would probably churn through a lot of acres pretty freaking quickly, to be honest. So yeah, I think we're going to be doing that at some stage. I should probably do that pretty soon. Oh, hello? There we go. I should probably do that pretty soon because I'll either forget or when the time comes, we won't have money to replace that. So yeah. Hopefully we can get a decent price for that. Oh, we also need to sell that fertilizer spreader. And that needs a wash. A lot of things on the farm needs a wash. Anyway, what we are going to do now that all of that is done and we just sort of need to wait and see if we need to do any more fertilizing or anything like that is, since we have got a good chunk of money, $219,304 to be precise, we are going to be graveling the farmyard. So it's just bare ground at the moment. And I kind of like it. Don't get me wrong. I like this. It feels very farm-ish. But we need to move forward and we need to keep progressing. And I think what I want to do is do some gravel on the farm. So all of this road up to basically the main road is going to be gravel all through here, through the sheds and around here. And basically everything up around until where the sheep are. So yeah, I hope it's not going to spoil the feeling of the farm. I really hope it doesn't. But again, we need to move forward with the farm. We can't stay where we are because that's kind of pointless. And I still need to figure out what we're going to do with all of these trees, whether we're going to cut them down or are we going to keep this cluster and just take these two down. And I don't know. We still need to figure all of this out because the silos are going to go somewhere up on that hill. How we get there, however, is a different story. And I think all of these trees might need to go. Here, we're going to do some development as well at some stage. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. But for now, we are going to do some graveling. So let's jump into that. We will do a time lapse on that, otherwise we'll sit here forever. And we also need to buy a diesel tank. In fact, let's do that first, because I am going to forget to do that. I just don't know if I want to buy a new one or an old one, because there's quite a big price difference. And I like the look of that one. I like the fact that it's not brand new. It's also almost $2,000 cheaper. And yeah, I think... Again, we need to move forward, so we need to start buying new. And I was thinking maybe of putting it just over here. Or there. I'm not really sure. Maybe there would be a good spot. Will that fit okay? Something like so. Alright, how do we lower that? I don't know. I think that's about as low as it's gonna go. So maybe let's put that there. Alright, we have got a diesel tank. We will fit fix the surrounding area of that. And yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna forget to do that. So very, very important, because a lot of our equipment is starting to run very, very, very low on diesel. So we'll clean this area up. We'll probably end up graveling all of this anyway. But yeah, there's our little diesel tank, which is great. I don't know if that's gonna be its permanent home. Most likely not, but yeah, you never know. And yeah, it means all of these grass areas and things in here is going to come out. But anyway, let's jump into that and we'll get it all knocked out real quick. And we'll come back and see what it looks like. Alright, that is all of the graveling complete, and it looks pretty freaking good. I think it came out a lot better than what I thought it was going to. And that's a good thing, because I was a little bit unsure about this. I thought it'll maybe look nice, but I couldn't really convince myself. But I think it came out really, really good. So this here is, well, the old shed. We have got our diesel tank, which we can fill up all of our vehicles, which is crucial because, well, a lot of our equipment is pretty much empty. So that area looks nice and neat, and that is really one thing that this did, is it made everything look a lot neater and cleaner. So I did have to move some pieces of equipment to get gravel in there, obviously. So the combine was one of them, and that looks all good. And then around here, big area. Also around the rocks, I cleaned up a little bit there and took away a lot of the brush and bushes and things around there. And then around here looks really, really good. Our entrance, our fairly new entrance, is all done as well up to the main road. So that is looking really nice. And then this runs all the way around to the sheep and the chickens, where I cleaned up quite a bit as well. And I also made the area around the sheep a little bit bigger. So as you can see here, everything done. This is opened up a little bit because of the tree that we cut down in the previous episode. And then over here we cut down another tree in the previous episode, and I opened this area up a bit. Not a huge amount, because I'm not really sure what is going to happen here just yet. But it just makes loading and unloading and trailer hitching and all of that sort of thing a little bit easier. So yeah, and just cleans everything up a little bit. So over here in the chicken shed, is all back to ground as it was. At one stage I did accidentally fill it with gravel, but I did fix that afterwards. And also over here I just sort of cut the corner a little bit to open all of that up a little bit as well, and to just make accessing the chicken eggs a little bit easier. And yeah, that's just about it. So I think it looks really nice. I think it looks clean, And yeah, definitely something to get a little bit used to. But I think it's going to be good for the long run and hopefully keep everything a little bit cleaner. And yeah, that is unfortunately going to be the end of this episode. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up and I'll see you all next time.